Hello, this is Robert Guillaume. Thank you for joining me on Your Money, Manage It. I will be discussing principles that will empower you to manage your finances made easy. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I want to simply say I hope you had a very, very wonderful Christmas. And as we look forward to the new year, Happy New Year to everyone. Today, I simply want to cover 3 pieces of financial information that sort of become valuable as we close out 2022 and look into the future in 2023. First, very simply, just a terminology in the finance world of equity and what is equity, how do you build equity. Then I want to discuss some financial aspects to avoid, such as fast loans and quick cash advances and those sorts of things. And then, most importantly, I think, how to secure your finances. And this could be another podcast again at another time, but I think going into the new year, it's a piece of information to be wise with your finances. First of all, equity. What is equity? We hear equity loans and so forth. Well, what is equity? Well, it's very simply the value of your ownership in a home, a car, or other property or tangible item. It's your ownership, the value of your ownership. Your home, as an example, let's say that 10 years ago, you mortgaged a home with a mortgage loan for $250,000. Today, the market value of your home, let's say, is $300,000. And today, you only owe $175,000 on the balance of your mortgage loan. Well, let's calculate your equity in your home. The market value is $300,000. You owe $175,000 on the balance of your mortgage. Very simply, your equity in your home is $125,000. You just simply subtract the balance of your debt from the market value of your home, and that can be applied to a vehicle. Now, keep in mind, some tangible items depreciate, others appreciate. A home, for example, is most likely going to increase or appreciate in value. An automobile or a truck most likely will depreciate in value. So you just calculate market value from that point. A home equity loan, which you may have heard that term used, is simply based on this calculation. However, most banks do not process a home equity loan for 100% of the equity value. So on the previous example, if you had an equity in your home of $125,000, it's very unlikely that a bank is going to give you a $125,000 home equity loan. So just keep that in mind if you want to do remodeling or whatever the case may be, and you would like to borrow against your home equity. The bank was going to tell you the reality of what they could potentially lend. Also keep in mind this fact. A home equity loan, which is a usable financial tool in some cases, but a home equity loan is a loan, and it's actually considered a second mortgage on your home. And like discussed in a previous podcast, your credit score, that even if it's a line of credit home equity loan, the total of that line of credit is going to be reflected in your credit score. It's going to come up on a credit report. Just be aware. So you can establish a home equity line of credit, but when you use a portion of that, that's going to be reflected in your credit report, as is the total of that availability of that loan. So be aware. It's a good tool if you want to remodel your home or some other uses, but it will be reflected in your credit report, and it is a second mortgage when you take out a home equity loan. Also note this. Your home may have been taken on a fixed mortgage, maybe a 30-year mortgage at a fixed rate of whatever that might have been. I know mortgage rates currently have increased, but let's just say you had a 4% fixed rate on your home mortgage. If you took out a home equity loan, predominantly those are flex rates. So as the feds raise interest rates, your home equity loan will reflect that rising interest rate. And you'll get notification from your bank that perhaps when you started that home equity loan, let's say you borrowed $40,000 against your $125,000 equity in the home to do some remodeling or repave a driveway and do some other things, put in a pool, whatever it might be. Took out $40,000. Let's say you've used $20,000 of that 40. The bank's going to say, now your interest rate, which originally maybe was 4 or 5% when you took that out, now it's jumped to 6.5. And with the current rates of interest increasing, it could go even higher. Just know that home equity loans predominantly are flex rate second mortgage loans. And you are repaying basically 2 separate mortgages on your home. So, equity is a measure of what you actually own. So you had an automobile. The automobile was a $40,000 automobile. And you have taken the market value, let's say, of that automobile. Let's say it's relatively new. And the market value is, let's just keep the figure, $40,000. It's relatively new. The auto loan is going to come off of whatever that market value is. So if that market value of that automobile is $40,000 and you still owe $35,000, well, you might have $5,000 in equity on that $40,000 vehicle. So just keep those calculations in mind, knowing that it is actually what you own. Shifting gears, another segment on this episode I'd like to just share with you because it has concluded the holiday season, and as I had mentioned in prior podcasts, I hope you have been able to avoid excess spending and you did not run up enormous credit card bills and debts, etc., etc. Well, some people may find themselves in a position where, I need some cash. Please let me share with you, especially this time of the year, to avoid going after quick cash advances and fast loans. I see all the time these advertisements, and I think I had shared this once before, where someone's car, his engine's smoking, and they're saying, what am I going to do? And all of a sudden, the little loan angel appears and says, call 1-800-da-da-da-da-da, and you can get a loan instantly. Well, there are a lot of those types of ads today that you can find, and those places are real, but beware. Please beware. You get nothing for nothing. You are going to pay. You may get the quick loan, And with that is going to come high interest, high fees, and a repayment expectation. It's not a gift. Santa Claus didn't just leave you under the tree $500, at least from the quick loan places. So it's going to be buyer beware. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. I have lived many years, and other than a Christmas gift from a parent or a relative or someone, I've not had many people just give me cash without expecting something in repayment in return. Quick cash and cash advance options come with a price. There are added fees into those repayments and interest. And if that repayment is not made in a timely fashion according to what's specified, then the interest rates and the repayment becomes even more expensive. Some cash advance operations will even use your paycheck as security. Beware. They can garnish wages. There can be legal action taken against you if you fail to meet their requirements. So please, I'm going to say this one more time. When it comes to cash advances, quick loans, loans over your phone, all of those things, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. There is always a catch-22. Do your due diligence. The best advice is do your financial management and just simply avoid having to do that, please. Finally, as we enter this new year, I want to take a moment to speak with you about securing your finances. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever seen a commercial on TV or in the media. Some of the telecommunications, the cell phone providers used to show a map of the United States, and then they had all the red lines across the United States of where there's connections and where you were covered and all of these things. If you were to take that same map, use those same red line configurations to track the bombardment on your personal financial information, and that includes your bank and all other accounts, credit, everything. And it comes not just from within house, it comes from overseas, from China, from Russia, from Middle East, it comes from everywhere. Everywhere. There are individuals and entities bombarding you financially to steal your information and then steal your finances. Please be aware that in today's world of cyber technology, your personal information, including your financial information, is vulnerable. It's a target. It is targeted by criminal activity around the world. Attacks upon your financial information, as I mentioned, it arises from both domestic and foreign entities. And it's vital that you take steps to protect your personal and financial information. Cyber criminals, they don't sleep. They're working 24/7 to hack your accounts. Do not fall prey to such things as phony cell phone calls or telephone calls. Oh my goodness. You've received them. I've received them. My wife has received them. Persons claiming to be from Social Security, persons claiming to be from Amazon, persons claiming to know how to fix your computer, and all of these entities. Right now, at this time of the year, there's a lot of hammering going on concerning Medicare and health insurance plans and that sort of thing. Beware. Realize that most legitimate agencies, if there's a problem, will contact you via certified mail. Social Security, the government, other entities will contact you by certified mail if there are issues with your accounts. Your banks will contact you certified mail or, through legal entities to let you know there's an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, do not give any of your personal information out over your phone. Don't do that. Don't give your Social Security numbers, your Medicare numbers. Don't give your email. Don't give anything out over your personal phone. And if it looks, remember I said about the cash loans, if it looks too good to be true, it probably isn't true. Well, if this looks false, it probably is false. Just stay away. Don't fall for the first bite that comes along on your computer or your phone. Stay away. Avoid it. If it's legit, places will find a way to contact you. Believe me, legitimately. If you believe that you or your information has been violated, contact immediately all the affiliated agencies, such as your bank. Contact credit card companies. Contact investment companies and others. Make contacts immediately if you feel that you have been violated. I know that probably anyone with a computer has tried to protect through different agencies the information and the way that your computer and even your phone and all of the devices are utilized. But as we know from history with major corporations, even our government, things can be violated. Do not expose such things as PIN numbers when you go to ATM machines and those sort of things. Don't expose that. You have no clue what eyes are watching you from afar, and they can hone in on you. When you're putting a PIN number in, keep it concealed. Hide yourself. Keep that PIN number from being shared to whoever might be watching. Shred documents when they're no longer needed, especially documents that have your personal information, such as mortgage and account numbers, bank account numbers, medical information, all of those. Every year, I do a file purge, and that goes right through my shredding machine. And, I just try. I don't want to dump my personal information in the trash, because what if a trash bag came off a truck and was exposed and somewhere on the side of the road started going through? All of those things, even the trash can in front of your house might have exposed information. Shred documents that contain your personal information. Be aware that many devices such as that are used in such places as restaurants where you pay your bill at your table and you use a credit card or a debit card, those may not be secure. I had a wonderful IT person that worked with me that told me that those pay at your table devices are not necessarily secure. And you're swiping your credit card through that or your debit card through that. Be aware. And be aware, it sounds horrible, when you hand your credit card to a server, it's a bit of a risk. Or your debit card to a server to pay your bill, bit of a risk. You don't know what information they're writing down or where that card's going, or you just don't. It's a risk. Utilize companies that are reputable, that can have programs that you can install or whatever to secure your computer, your phone, and your other devices. And saying that, here are a couple other small pieces of information. I know people do this, but I would avoid just lending your phone and lending your computer to friends and da-da-da-da-da-da. Don't do that. Risky business. Risky business. Another piece of risky business at the holiday season or any time of year, don't allow your mail to sit in your mailbox. That's just hard copy, common sense, good information. If you're going to be away from your home for several days or a couple days, go to the post office, put your mail on hold. You can return to the post office, pick up your mail. Not going anywhere. Post office is going to hold it. But if you leave your mail sit in your mailbox, it's a message to anyone that looks in there or sees that or looks at your house or that you're not home. They're not only going to take your mail, they may be in your house, breaking in. Another piece of information, credit cards versus debit cards. I would advise that you use credit cards versus debit cards when at all possible, because credit cards, if violated, usually have a backup. The companies will stand behind you. Debit cards, you have a time limit, maybe as short as 2 or 3 days, and a maximum sometimes as low as $500, and then the rest is on you. You could have an account wiped out. So just be aware of that. If I had to choose credit card to pay, debit card to pay, I'd use a credit card. Finally, never, ever relax your awareness of how your information or your finances might be breached. I know it is a 24/7 scenario, ladies and gentlemen, but in the day and time that we live in, technology is everywhere, and just be as secure as you can be. Information can be taken from your phone, from your computer. Accounts can be hacked. Please try to do all that you can to secure your personal and your financial information. Moving into 2023, that's a good New Year's resolution. If you haven't done so, do everything you can to secure your personal and financial information. Have a great and happy New Year. I'll look forward to speaking with you on the next podcast. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me on Your Money, Manage It. My book, How to Manage Personal Finances Made Easy and Avoiding the College Debt Trap, can be found on Amazon and the bookshop. I will also include the link in the description of this episode. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and join me again next Monday. Thank you for listening.